All right, shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the sincere Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, being like unto the speckled bird, and Shalom, but the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and Shalom to the real sisters out there. Shalom to all the elect. Shout out to the elect. This is strictly for the elect, which I hope to be of that number. The title of this live, Joe Blow. I titled this live, Rats for G's. Joe Blow's snitch program for radical Americans, because that's what this devil has planned. RT did a live on it. I get to see the live, but they probably did an article on it too. So I could pull that up. Joe Blows. Biden administration creating radical American snitch program. Oh shit, it's actually gonna go live in 89 minutes. RT is actually doing the live on it. Because this devil, man, he's getting ready to come down with great wrath. And and we're his number one target. So, that's, what do you think people are gonna, well, what do you think people, envision when they envision radical Americans? They envision people like us, the Hebrew Israelites. I believe there is an article on it. Also, I'm trying to see if I can get some Akim on here. All right. Yeah. RT about to go live on that. And just going to bring out some scriptures on it. Ah, just looking on Google news feed, and they're saying that the lobster diver from Massachusetts, well, story of fish tale, whatever. Haters gonna hate. Doubters gonna doubt. Scoffers gonna scoff. They probably doing it because it sounds like sounds like it's from the book of Jonah. All right, let me get Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10, verse 17. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Verse 18. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for testimony against them and the Gentiles. Verse 19. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given to you in that same hour which ye shall speak. Verse 20. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Verse 21. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. Verse 22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endured to the end shall be saved. Yo. You know, your members of your own household, your own parents, you know, your own children, your own brother or sister, you know, your own shit, even your own woman, you know, or for the few sincere sisters in this thing, you know, that may have a man, you know, your own husband, sell you out, turn you into the government for as a radical American, you know, for that government cheese, you know, because when that government cheese is involved, man, you know, they finna like people that you don't think will fuck you over, will fuck you over, you know, they will fuck you over, you know, and not be sorry for it, you know. So yeah, you know, prepare for your back to be stabbed, man. because it's gonna happen if it happened to Yahushai. If it happened to Yahushai, and as one of the brothers brought out, I don't know which one, but one of them. One of the brothers brought out, his videos called, listen to what El Diablo is preparing. Like one of them brothers brought out, like one of them brothers brought out, hold on. Yeah, like one of them brothers brought out, that happened to King David, his own advisors turned against him. His own advisors turned against him, taking the side of his own son, who was trying to overthrow him to be king. So it even happened to David, you know, you know, hey, the hopeful elect, we hope to be a part of the elect, which are also the house of David, you know. Verse 23, but when they persecute you, we're going to have to be nomads, man, on the run. Because eventually, those people that are reported as radicals, man, they're going to be hunted down by Esau, you know. But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another. For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. And just like happened back then, just like what happened back then in the land when the Hamashiachim were being persecuted, we had to dip. It's going to happen here too. But at a certain point, in the Most High, the Most High Yahweh, He's also going to raise that standard, in different ways. So, like, they're not going to be able to wipe the elect out, you know. Hey, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come. Verse 24, the disciple is not above the master. It's where the point is right here, nor the servant above his Lord. Verse 25, it is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call them of his household? Like, they demonize the fuck out of us, bro. They think we some type of Muslims, bro. When we don't even call on that same, we don't even, we're not like, if someone was to examine our beliefs versus Islamic beliefs, they're totally different. But, you know, people don't do that. People don't do the research. They just make assumptions. That's all. So they assume that we're Muslims. Well, we're not. Biden, Sanders, Unity Task Force. Get some different. Or maybe not. No Russia Today article. Hold on. lacking. Fuck. That hurts so much, though. Looking for that article. Yeah, I can't find an article on it. All right, hold on. I couldn't find that no article on it. Apparently, they just gonna do a live on it. Well, no, like recent article. I mean, this is an alright article too, but I was looking for one that I was looking for a more recent one. It's got this article. It's an old article though, but basically it's the same concept there, and it's called "Welcome to Snitch Nation: From Kids to Parents, It's a Race." to rat out your former loved ones before they get you first. And this is what they're, the same concept here, except dealing with domestic terrorism and shit. Let me get into that's they finna come out with RT. I'm not sure if they doing that live on that yet. They might be. I could get that too. Let me get this article in the grand tradition of divide and conquer the ruling class that set in motion a foolproof way to keep us from uniting against the Great Reset and the tenant restrictions on human freedoms do bust into snitching on each other. Actually, let me see if I could get. Nah, but y'all won't be able to hear it. I could just post a link on there. Let me see if I'm still alive. Con. All right, but yeah. Damn, hold on. If I can't find if I can't find it, then that article I might just go into that article is gonna go into. I think go into why Trump coming back in the picture, because it's not what y'all, it's not for reasons y'all think. I could just get this article right here. That's basically gonna sum it up. Video Biden administration creating radical American snitch program. Biden's radical snitch program was also implemented under Barack Obama. Joe Biden's administration announced their plans to create ways for Americans to report radicalized friends and family to the government in an effort to so-called fight domestic terrorism. This involves creating contexts in which those who are family members or friends or co-workers know their pathways and avenues to raise concern and seek help for those who they have perceived to be radicalized and potentially radicalizing towards violence, the official said. Basically, they're gonna paint it as, okay, this is what they're gonna do. They probably gonna add monetary incentives as well. These devils. Their hands are full of bribes. So I wouldn't be surprised if they add that shit to the mix. Let me get that verse. Salakia, y'all. I'm Salakia for the interruption. I had to deal with something real quick. But let me get let me get that that verse. I'm gonna get another article. I think I should still go into it too, because it shows that where Esau was going with this. But basically, Esau had done it before. The things that are written aforetime are written for learning, which is referring to these scriptures, but also historical events, including in recent historical events. I'll show you that as well. Let me get Psalms 26 and 10. In whose hands is mischief. Hold on. In whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. Yep. Their right hand is full of bribes. That's what they're gonna resort to. If they can't mind fuck you into doing what they want, they're gonna resort to bribes and shit. They're gonna bribe you into doing it. Oh, that's spending not enough. Okay, we'll offer you shit $100 for each person. That help. Or something like that, right? They they're snitching rich, right? That's what probably can't hear me from here, but you might be able to. Might be able to hear me, but probably not. So hold on. Let me get into that one article. Welcome to Snitch Nation. Oh, kindness of spirit. The brother just posted an article on the chat. Team Biden administration asked. It's a Breitbart article. Sometimes they be bringing out shit too. These different right wing or left wing articles and shit. Like sites and shit. They be snitching on each other. Hey. Esau be dropping dime on their own. So it shouldn't surprise you that they They drop dime on their own, and they want you to drop dime on your own. President Joe Biden's administration announced their plans to create ways for Americans to report radicalized friends and family to the government in an effort to fight domestic terrorism. In a conversation with reporters, one senior administration official explained the importance of stopping politically fueled violence before it started. "Quote unquote, we will work to improve federal awareness of public awareness of federal resources to address concerning or threatening behavior before violence occurs," quote unquote, the official said. The official cited the Department of Homeland Security, quote unquote, "if you see something, say something" campaign to help stop radical Islamic terror as a domestic possibility. Quote unquote, this involves creating contexts in which those who are family members or friends or co-workers know that there are pathways and avenues to raise concerns and seek help for those who they have perceived to be radicalizing and potentially radicalizing toward violence, the official said. Biden began his presidency with a stark warning in his inauguration speech about the rise in quote unquote, the rise in political extremism, well, so-called white supremacy, domestic terrorism that we must confront and we will defeat. And that's like that one brother pointed out. The reason for them doing that is because they're going after them gun owners, bro. That's why. It has nothing to do with fighting so-called white supremacy, since as I have brought out before, many Akim have brought out before, Joe Biden himself is a so-called white supremacist. So it has nothing to do with that. But really, it's about what it's really about is what it's really about is basically taking these guns from these lower level Edomites. These lower level so-called white people who are Edomites, who got all types of guns and shit, and these, as well as these misguided speckled birds among them. Because Esau wants to be the only one with the guns. No, it makes sense that Esau, the man who is blessed with the sword, would want to have a monopoly on the sword. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's what that's all about. And political extremism, they could say that we are political extremists because we're saying that these devils don't deserve to run shit no more. That these devils is going down, man. And there's gonna be a new kingdom. We are calling for regime change or prophesying of regime change for like the whole world. The elites of Esau, going down, and the elites of Jacob rising up. So they could argue that we're political extremists, you know, anti-American extremists, you know, traitors, right? Because we basically it's like Rome all over again, you know. No king but Caesar, right? If you said there was another king besides Caesar, yeah, you was looked at as a traitor. So they could say that we're political extremists, as well as domestic terrorists. You know, going back to what? Going back to going back to let me think. There was this document that was published during the Clinton administration that mentioned the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, because we know there's no such thing as a Black Hebrew Israelite because there's no such thing as Black people. So so-called Black Hebrew Israelites, and we know about it was the Megiddo report, I believe. It was a Megiddo report. So all the way going back to then, going back to that time, you know. Basically, if you brought out that the so-called Black people, Latinos and Native Americans were the biblical Hebrew Israelites, are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, you know, even that, you know, just bringing that out, you know, you labeled a terrorist, a domestic extremist. So, you know, yeah, man, like this is directly aimed at us, really aimed at us, like it's actually aimed at us, you know, because no, we're the actual opposition that they can't defeat using like they wasn't able to defeat, they haven't been able to defeat, you know, because you know there's a scripture on it. Basically, their hands are too short to box with the Most High Yahweh. You know, if it be of power. Let me bring it. Look that up. Be If it be of power, man, you can't stop it. You know, and when Esau, you know, he's getting frustrated, so he's gonna get carnal. He's gonna get carnal. You know, he's gonna resort to the sword. You know, but you know, he basically wants the people to make it easier for him to do his thing. You know. Well, let me bring out that scripture, Acts 5:39, because so far the tactics used by these devils ain't been able to stop shit, you know. So far they've been unsuccessful. In fact, you know, the tactics by these devils, Shalom Ake Yahweh Shem Shai. Hey, shout out to that brother, man. You know, the brother Kala Araya, man, for that assist. You know, I was looking for an article on that snitch program, wasn't able to find one, and then you know the brother posted it. And Khan, hey, if you want to jump on, you know, you could just click on the link that I posted. Esau is trying to stop this truth by getting basically our family members and shit to our family members or so-called homeboys, homegirls, etc. in the world are shit co-workers, neighbors, anyone really, anyone with a bone to pick to turn us in, man. And that's because so far these devils ain't been able to stop the building of this third temple, man. So far they've been unsuccessful. They've actually helped it to grow, because they fucked up so many times trying to stop us. Man, get the fuck on, bug. Let me get that scripture. If it be of power, Acts 5:39. No, hey, let me get that scripture. Acts 5:39. But if it be of power, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against power. Because basically, that's who they're fighting against. It's not about us. It's not about their beef is not really not with us. Their beef is with the Most High Yahweh. Matter of fact, let me start at 34. Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee. Just a little backstory. A Pharisee named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had in reputation among all the people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space. Verse 35, and said unto them, Ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what ye intend to do as touching these men. Verse 36, for before those days, think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing, right? Just take a minute, right? Verse 36, for before these days rose up Judas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered by the knot. So basically it was like this dude, Judas, who thought he was somebody, he rose up, and a bunch of dudes joined his movement, joined themselves to him, but they took a L, man. They took a L, because it wasn't of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's also kind of what Yahushua meant by all who came before me were none but thieves and robbers, these false leaders, and you have them today. False leaders misleading our people, lying, deceiving them, just like Esau, Edom, their father. The thief coming not but to steal and kill and destroy. They're like Esau. But yeah, verse 37, after this man rose up Judas of Galilee and in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He was another Pied Piper. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. So it would have been dispersed. Basically, yeah, it would have. If it was a man, it would come to naught. It wouldn't come to fruition. It would have. What would have been through, man. Wouldn't be at where we at today. GMS camps, where? GMS camps all over the world, man. Not just in Babylon. Not just where Judah is either. Northern Kingdom as well. Speckled birds such as myself as well. Spread through the internet. They didn't have to fly. The apostles didn't have to get on planes and fly to different parts of Babylon, fly to the Northern Kingdom, so-called Latino countries, fly out to the Native American Galite reservations, fly out to Europe, Africa, Asia. Then you have to do none of that. Spread through the World Wide Web, and those who were able to get it, they're able to get it. So basically, yeah. Verse 38, and now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone, for this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. Like if this was of men, like this was just, if the apostle just sat down and just created this, like just basically cooked this up, right? And it was, none of this was true, then it would have came to naught. It wouldn't be prospering and flourishing. It would have gone the way of the Egyptologists. Or some, the Pan Africans, bro, gone the way of Marcus Garvey and shit. The movement in Philly and shit. The first Black Panther movement. Basically would have been wiped out. But the commandment keeper. Well, with that was like they didn't believe in the New Testament. So yeah, they did. They were phased out. By Abel Bivens, aka Elijah, aka John the Baptist, and so forth. And since then, the truth has flourished. Because it's of power Yahweh. You cannot overthrow it. Let's happily, you're going to be fighting against the Most High Yahweh. You be found even to fight against them. But Esau, not going to take that advice. Esau knows this is a Most High Yahweh, but he's not going to take that advice. He's still going to try to come up against us. Trying to get these basically these 2/3 and these other peasants out here, to come against us, and a lot of them are, man. That's just a fulfillment of prophecy, man. A lot of them are gonna do it, man. When Esau starts adding cash to the equation, a lot more are gonna fall in. Like, okay, and if not enough people are falling for his psychobabble of we need to save them because they're so caught in a cult or they're domestic terrorists, they're gonna do some fucked up shit, blow up the city or something. We gotta stop them before they do it. If they don't buy into that psychobabble, if not enough people are doing it, you're gonna have Esau adding cash to the equation. Fuck it, we'll pay you. We'll or discounts, not even just outright cash, man. You get a free McDonald's for a month. You snitch out. You turn in 10 radicals. Something like that. You get free McDonald's for a month. You will have Jakes who fall for that shit, just lying and secret, and we'll rat out their brothers and sisters for that shit, man. Oh, Esau was gonna go all out, man. Because Esau knows it's a rap, He knows he's true, so he's gonna go all out. When it comes to the snitch program, man, this dude Esau, he's gonna go all out. And you're gonna go all out here. No, a true no limit soldier right there, man. Sleazy E's gonna go all out. you know, he knows what Jake is into, man. He knows what Jake is into. He's gonna be like, how about he's gonna butter these Jakes up, man. Jake is gonna go from nah, fuck snitching on my brother, fuck snitching on my sister, to fuck it, fuck it. Don't don't hate on my hustle, nigga. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Jake will do some down and dirty shiesty shit, man. Jake will Jake will do that, man. Some fuck shit, you know. Just for the love of money. Like that song, for the love of money. There's a song that goes like that, Jake will do it, man. Jake will do it to you. For the love of government cheese. You can take the stabbing jab, or you can stab your brother in the back. Man, fuck. It's a lot to kill. Let me get I brought out Matthew 10 about every brother will utterly supplant. Every brother will utterly supplant. Let me get that. Because these niggas are gonna turn each other. They're gonna turn us in, bro. These niggas out here are gonna turn us in. Every brother will utterly supplant, man. Utterly supplant, set you up. Jeremiah 9:4. Telling you to take ye heed every one of his neighbors, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will slanders, man. Jake is gonna be hungry for cheese, man. Jake is gonna want more of that cheese. That's what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna get with that program, get with that government program to rat you out, Jake, especially an offended brother, man, especially a Jake that got hurt by some shit you said, bro. He got cut to the heart, that Jake. So he's gonna turn you in. Because he's in his feelings. Oh, yeah. Fallout boys, man, the Fallout girls, man. They're gonna be turning us in too, man. Bitter Fallouts. You know, and they're gonna be thinking. These types of people are gonna be thinking that they're doing the Most High Yahweh a service. You know, by turning you in, they're literally gonna be thinking that you're gonna have people in other camps think about it, turn you in. IUIC members, IS2PK members, you know, etc. Upstarts, upstart camps members. They're gonna be turning you in, turning GMS members in, or like-minded Akim. There's a scripture that I thought of. You know, they're cut to the heart, man. Meaning hurt, you know. You know, Acts 5:33 is how Jake is. When they heard that, they were cut to the heart and took counsel to slay them. They're just ratchet all to Esau, man. No, Jake and Eve, man. So there's many reasons why Jake will do it to you. You know. The next topic I'm gonna go into after this is why the fuck, hey, why the fuck that Donald is back, man. The real reason that Donald is back is not because, oh, he's coming to take on the deep state, you know, head on and shit, you know. Nah, man. Like, y'all gotta learn from that. This is Jake's that I'm reading this out because it's Jake's probably out there in the world that may take heed that, you know, still, it's Jake's that supported Trump, man. It's Jake's that supported Trump, you know, especially so-called Latinos, a lot of them, Northern Kingdom that supported Trump, and there's a lot of speckled birds that supported Trump and still do, you know, especially where I'm from. So, you know, these Trump supporters, which was disappointed, these Jake's Trump supporters that was disappointed by because Trump basically didn't really stand up to these devils, like everything that Q was saying. Which, you know, Q, you look into Q, man. That's controlled opposition, the definition of it, man. Wait on Trump. Wait on Trump. He's making moves. You know, that was controlled opposition straight up. You know, and you miss you confuse Jakes out there. Some of y'all that are not Democratic leaning Jakes, but are Republican leaning Jakes. You know, still supporting the beast, but thinking you're coming against it. No, got fooled. Yeah, you got fooled. You know, and then you're getting fooled again, man. A lot of y'all is getting fooled again. And you peon devils too. We're not worried about y'all. We're worried about Jacob. You know, the elect specifically. We're here for the elect. You know. You're gonna trust an oppression again, man. It's the real reason why is Trump, you know, set up by Rothschilds, man. Trump Rothschild connection. There's a Trump Rothschild connection here. Let me get it. There's an article on the Trump Rothschild connection, which is why he was able to fucking rise up, dude. Hey, Wilbur Ross, man. Wilbur Ross. You look into Wilbur Ross, and that's the dude that helped set up Trump, man. Because you have something called controlled opposition, man. You got something called that. There's an article from the LA Times. Meet Wilbur Ross, who once bailed out Trump in Atlantic City and is now his pick for Commerce Secretary. The Wilbur Ross, man. You could go into who that dude is. Because Trump, he ain't nothing but controlled opposition, man. Wilbur Ross became rich. You gonna see that. I'm gonna bring it out. Well, and I mean, brothers have probably brought this out, but like this is like a reminder. Basically, no, he's not coming back to basically like take on the elites and shit. Nah, bro. Y'all falling for the okie doke again. Well, let me get into it. Wilbur Ross became rich, investing in faltering businesses like steel mills and coal mines, finding a fortune in blue collar industries that others dismissed as beyond saving. Oh shit, like vulture capitalists. They're called venture capitalists, aka vulture capitalists. Look into that. But before he was, because there's strings attached, of course. But before he was scooping up Rust Belt factories, the banker was sizing up another troubled asset, Donald Trump. More than 2 decades ago, Ross represented bondholders who were gunning for Trump after he failed to pay back the high-interest loans he had taken out to build his casino empire. When Ross arrived in Atlantic City and New Jersey for negotiations in 1990, he found a throng of journalists and curious onlookers eager to catch a glimpse of Trump, according to the vulture investors. There you go. Vulture investors, vulture capitalists, quote unquote, by Hillary Rosenberg. For the quiet Ross, the scene inspired a revelation. Trump's flashy image had resilience. Ross embarked on a strategy that helped Trump avoid a personal bankruptcy that could have derailed his unlikely trajectory from real estate model to reality television star to president-elect. So basically, if it wasn't for him, consider another investment that has paid off for Ross, who Trump recently tapped to lead the Department of Commerce. That you're gonna see a private equity billionaire who once led a secret Wall Street fraternity. Ross is among the rich, loyal insiders Trump picked for a cabinet that is shaping up as the wealthiest in history. If confirmed by the Senate, The 79-year-old veteran investor will spearhead trade policy and businesses developed in the new administration. Trump rejected criticism that Ross was too out of touch to serve, saying during a rally last week in Cincinnati that Ross was chosen because, quote unquote, this guy knows how to make money, folks. Yeah. You wonder why, he's exempt from all that. Trump added, quote unquote, I once put on a killer. Trump talks big game about being against the establishment. He still does. He did as president and still does. The future president-elect at one time owned a quarter of Atlantic City's casino market, but Trump was heavily in debt and he started missing bond payments on his and Atlantic City's the Taj Mahal, in 1990. Russ did an investment bankruptcy where links up working for Rothschild Incorporated helped bondholders negotiate with Trump, whose finances were unraveling. The final deal reduced Trump's ownership stake in the Taj, but left him in charge, and bondholders were unhappy when Ross presented the plan. "Quote unquote, why did we make a deal with them?" One asked, according to Rosenberg's book. Ross insisted that Trump was worth saving. "Quote unquote, the Trump name is pretty much still very much an asset," quote unquote. Trump himself proved to be less of a sure bet, though the agreement allowed Trump to soldier on in Atlantic City. His casinos landed in bankruptcy court twice more. The president-elect respects Ross's deal-making skills, said Jason Miller, a communications director for Trump's transition team. "Quote unquote, he's seen Mr. Ross up close and personal," Miller says. He knows that he can depend on him, quote unquote. So they're basically, he works for Rothschild, man. Ross grew up in New Jersey, and attended a Jesuit prep school in New York before earning degrees from Yale and the Harvard Business School. He spent 2 decades at Rothschild working on bankruptcies before starting his own private equity firm, W.L. Ross and Co. in 2000. So he worked for the Rothschilds, man, and he's responsible for basically saving Trump's ass because he was in debt. So, who do you think? Uh, who do you think Trump is really like? Was really working for? You know. There's your answer, man. So Trump is not Trump. Hey, Trump is Biden, bro. It don't appear that way. The media don't make it look that way, but Trump and Biden are actually working for the same people. They're working for the same people. You know, Biden, a career politician, Trump was mostly a businessman until now. But both worlds are controlled by a elite. That's what you gotta understand. And so you got you got a civil war brewing and shit, bro. You got a civil war brewing, and you know, conditions are basically right for it, man. For it seems to Oh, Ka, Yahweh Shimmy Al Shai Shimmy Kadash. I thought it ended on me. As Esau be doing that. Basically, I was going into. Hold on, I'll take care of something. Basically, I was going into Trump's connection with Wilbur Ross and shit. And, Wilbur Ross worked for the Rothschilds and shit. And they helped set that dude up to be basically be president, eventually put him in a position to be president and shit, be as rich as he is. As rich as he actually is, right? Put him in that position to be that rich. So who is he beholden to? The Rothschilds, man. You got something called controlled opposition. And y'all are falling for that controlled opposition. Thinking the Donald is gonna save y'all and shit. Now, hey, but yeah, I was going into how that's an article on this actual LA Times article on it. I'm not talking about some site that nobody ever heard of or whatever, which people use that, judge a source you get it from because it's considered a non-credible source or whatever. But it's actually from the LA Times. LA Times article on Trump Rothschild connections, yo. They basically put themselves on blast, man. You know. And hey, bring this out because he's coming back into the picture. You know, we ain't forgetting. Gotta remind people. And let me post that link to the live, the Rush RT live. Since I said I was gonna do that. The fuck. I heard someone out here. Biden administration creating radical American snitch program. Let me post that link to the live since it ain't gonna show on here. I can, you can take what you can get from that. Take the bones out. These devils is basically going in on their own, on themselves and shit. If you don't believe it, hear it from the horse's mouth. On Biden snitch program, there you go. Snitch program. RT News live on Biden snitch program. So any Akim that come across this live, you can also click on that and see for yourselves, And this devil, man, he's gonna get you to snitch. He's gonna get you to snitch, and many people are gonna go along with it because they have an evil eye towards their brother. But yeah, I was going into Rothschild. He was He grew up in New Jersey and attended knows the connections and attended a Jesuit prep school, connection with the Jesuits as well, in New York before earning degrees from Yale and the Harvard Business School. He spent 2 decades at Rothschild working on bankruptcies before starting his own private equity firm, W.L. Ross and Co. in 2000. Once you work for these devils, you still work for them, You still have those connections, man. I mean, 2 decades working at Rothschild, bro. 2 fucking decades. So you can bet there's connections, bro. A Palm Beach, Florida. Oh yeah, that too, man. Residents, a lot of 1948ers down there, by the way. Resident who owns the art collection valued at 9 figures and is worth an estimated 2.5 billion, according to Forbes. Ross earned a reputation as a so-called vulture. He is a vulture investor, providing profits in dying businesses. Ross described himself differently in an interview with New York Magazine, of course. "Quote unquote, we're a phoenix that rebuilds itself from the ashes." Yep, yep. And probably a Masonic reference there as well. At the Commerce Department, Ross would oversee a portfolio. No, you get the picture, man. Continuing responsibilities as diverse as weather research and promoting "quote unquote" minority owned businesses. However, with Trump in the White House, foreign trade likely will get the issue be the issue that gets the most of Ross's attention. Yep, yep. Yep, and then he had them tariff wars, which lead to real wars, man. Tariff wars, economic wars between the U.S. and China lead to real wars. Between other countries, man. They generally lead to real wars. You know, economic wars and shit. Fuck with a country's money, man. That's you fuck with anybody's money. That's a quick way to start beef, man. The quick way to get beef. So there you have it, man. Trump is not this outsider that y'all think he is. Fuck with you tell me this is the facts right here. That nigga backed up by the Rothschild. He's controlled opposition. He's free in Northern Kingdom. He was in Southern Kingdom, too, right? So-called black people. You have the so-called blacks for Trump. And you special birds that support Trump. Your misguided Jakes out there. Then, the left will take heed, of course. Y'all need to stop fighting Esau's battles, man. For real. Because the reason why Trump is coming back into the picture, the reason why he's coming back into the picture is not what y'all think. It's definitely not what y'all think. These devils, man, they want a civil war and they want a race war so they can continue to march the law and help kill off our people. Hold on, I can try to cook some too. on this. All right, so let me go to fuck. Hold on. Yeah, I was going over how Trump is connected to the Rothschilds and shit. Fuck, hold on. Basically, yeah, man. Hold on. Yeah, you know, Wilbur Ross, bro. That dude was, yeah, you know, that's that dude's connection to the Rothschilds and shit. But yeah, man, you know, he's controlled opposition. You know, he's coming back because basically, you know, that civil war finna pop off and he's gonna have a major role in it. Get back on it. All right. Hold on now, Kim. I put my garment on. I had to go see something real quick. I'm back. All right, so getting back into this article. Well, I got into that article. I brought out plenty of shit in that article. Yeah, Ross didn't. Yeah. Yeah, he helped bond a whole. He was an investment. Yeah, I brought that out. He was an investment banker working for Rothschild Incorporated. All right, so hold on. Oh, God, I'm still alive. Kala, y'all bashing me outside, bashing me, Kakatash. Right, so, hold on. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the argument out there, spread this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom to the real sisters out there. Before I go to, alright. Hey, stay strong. We're almost out of here. Almost out of here. All these prophecies are, about these prophecies are coming to pass rapid fire style. All right. Esau, you're through. It's over for you. And hold on. Jacob got next, Shalom, and Yashrala forever. We got next and forever, Shalom. Hold on. Shalom.